name is Ukukog, Commando Ukukog. And there's so much things going on in Africa that kind of worries an average African. What is going on? Why can't African nations and African people get their acts together? Why can't the leaders listen to the complaints of his people? Why are African people, especially the leaders, drunk on power? For an example, over 4 to 5 months, the people in Mali, Malians, the youths, the opposition, they were protesting, demanding for change of the status quo, change of ethnic cleansing, change of domination of one tribe over the other. For 3-4 months, the people were on the street. And the President Ibrahim Keita, refused to listen for 4-5 months. So many people lost their lives. And he deployed the military. The people that swore to protect the people were used to kill the people. The army of the nation are used as a tool, political tool, to oppress the people. And the people rose up. The people did what they are supposed to do against tyranny. They rose up in thousands and they demanded change. They demanded change because they know that the future of that nation depended on good governance. They know that the future is on change of what is the status quo. The first coup did not teach the politicians lesson. Now, the army came. The army came because the army had listened to what the people were saying. We need change. Change doesn't have to come through democratic process. Change is change. Change, whether for good or bad, the people were clamoring for change. The army came. But before the army came, you had the vultures gathering to devour the dead carcass, the carcass of dead meat. They were gathering. As they were gathering, it's like the storm. When the storms are gathering, if you're wise, you begin to, get ready. But the politicians never listen. The politicians, they live above the cloud. The politicians, they protect themselves with the most advanced armored vehicles. They are alien. They are, in a way, dummy gods. They did not listen. And the army came. Before the army guys overthrew President Keita, there was a sprinted effort by many African nations to salvage the situations. They sent emissaries, their presidents, to go and force Malians to live under oppression. They did not listen to the opposition and the people. They were not interested in change, but they wanted to maintain the status quo because they themselves are not listening to their people. For an example, in Nigeria, they sent former President Goodluck Jonathan to go as an emissary of peace. How can he go? How can he speak of peace to another country while his own country is on fire? While the Boko Haram are destroying southeast, destroying northeast, destroying Kaduna, destroying Zamfara, destroying everywhere they step on. While the Fulani herdsmen are parading across the country with impunity with AK-47, People who cannot read and write can own AK-47 just to protect their cow. Their cow. Their cows are more precious than humans. You cannot own a gun to protect human lives, but you can own a gun to protect cows. Now, you go to a foreign country to preach peace. You go to tell them to manage because Nigerians are managing. How? What kind of audacity? What kind of consciousness exists in these people that go to Mali? I'm not for military overthrow, coups and stuff. But there comes a time when people say, look, a change must come. We don't know what that change will be, but they need change. They need to boot out the corrupt politicians. For so many years, there has been ethnic violence across Mali. Armed struggle, almost war, constant terrorist attacks. People, you have over 300,000 people that are internal refugees. You have a government whose cronies are embezzling the funds of the country, whose sons are cruising around the whole world on yachts, expensive ships, celebrating, while the masses are hungry, dying of poverty. I don't mind if the army is the people's choice. I'm not saying the army is better, but there's a change coming. The problem that Africans have, African leaders, they don't listen to their people. They don't know when something is going right or wrong. They are blind. They are blind to see. They are like puppets. The Western countries are pulling their strings. They tell them, practice democracy. How can you practice what you don't understand? Africans have their own African traditional systems. Why don't we look internal and see what has worked over hundreds of years for Africans? And maybe combine that with the so-called Western democracy. And I hope the army are listening too, because they are not the solution. If they are, many African nations will be almost as Dubai, UAE, but they're not. They themselves are criminal. They embezzle. They embezzle with impunity, unchecked. But at least for the moment, the Malians can celebrate on the streets of Bamako, of Timbuktu, of all the ancient celebrated cities across Mali. Tonight, maybe they can sleep easy, knowing that the tyrant government of President Keita is gone. Tonight, they can hope that tomorrow the politicians can sit together. The Fulans and the Fulanis and other tribes can try to create an enabling, friendly, loving nation. They will sleep well tonight. Maybe tomorrow they'll face another day. But tonight, they're telling the whole world, we'll take the destiny on our hands. Tonight, I applaud the Mali people. I applaud them because of their brevity. I applaud them because of their insistence. I applaud them because they knew what they want. They invited the army. They said, come and rescue us from this tyranny. Despotism does not have any place in Africa anymore. And I know, because in Nigeria they have one. Almost all the state governors, they practice what I call militarycracy. Because the army chaps, the coup in Mali is a wake-up call to other African countries like Nigeria, Cameroon, Ivory Coast. It's a wake-up call. If the leaders of these nations can smell the coffee, it's a wake-up call that this force of change are knocking on their borders. They should make a change. If they're listening or if they're watching me and other advocates of democracy through democracy, they will learn something from what happened in Mali. They will not tolerate the indiscipline of political activities, violence, insurgents. They would understand that there's a dividend of democracy, that no one man owns the country. No leader should serve more than the years that the people allow him. They will understand that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The government does not belong to your family, to your cronies, to your ethnic region or people. It belongs to all. And if they don't wake up, what happened in Mali may happen in Nigeria, may happen in Cameroon, may happen in Ivory Coast, and other undemocratic leadership in Africa. I don't hope that that happens, but the handwriting is on the wall. It's inevitable almost that it will happen. It will happen because there is nothing to show of democracy in these countries. In Nigeria, there is nothing to show. But everywhere you look, there's abject poverty, corruption, lack of economic growth, opportunities, job for the youth, no electricity, no justice, nothing. Just brutality, government brutality, economic brutality, military brutality, social brutality, nothing. No hope for tomorrow. That's the lesson people can learn from Mali military coup. And don't listen to this nonsense from EU, AU, ECOWAS, blockade of Mali as a landlocked nation. Who says it's landlocked? It's not landlocked. It's not landlocked. They have all they need to develop. If their leaders can look within, they've existed for thousands of years. Mali is not a new carved out, enclave. Though the president Mali is the partition of Africa by the Europeans. But Mali has all it takes to be a wonderful, progressive country. So all this nonsense about blockade and sanctions, it has never worked and it will never work. Because as long as Africa is concerned, a Malian can go to Nigeria and be welcomed, can go to Ghana, can go to Senegal, can go anywhere across African territories. This landlock is nonsense because we need each other. Who are you sanctioning? Who are you blockading? You're blockading a woman that cannot feed 3 times a day? Who are you blockading? Protecting the criminal political class that have rendered Mali destitute? Who? Blockading against what? Instead of giving them help, sending food to help the refugees, to help the poor people, instead you are stationing armed military personnel across the porous borders of Mali. How are you going to enforce that? Why are we always playing to the interest of the Western government? My brother, it's time we show love. Love is what is missing. Love is why brothers pick up arms to kill each other. Why the Falans and the Fulanis cannot live together in Mali and other tribes. Why the jihadists, the insurgents, the terrorists are killing innocent, destitute Mali people instead of living together, working together, enjoying together. Blockade for what? Please, show love to Mali. Let's show love to Mali people. Let's send them food. Let's send them medicine. Let's show them love. Let's bring them into the house. Because that's the only solution, I think, that can help people in Mali and other regions of Africa. War and killing have no place. When you blockade a nation, you're angering the citizens to pick up. So, as I come to the conclusion of this topic about the coup in Mali, I'm asking everybody to urge the military to plan to hand over power to politicians. But before they do that, I would recommend that they ban everyone that's been involved in the politics of Mali in the past 20 years. We start from a clean slate. If you have been in power, around power for the past 20 years, you'll be disqualified because you are part of the problem. 2, they should, in my opinion, change their constitution, because most of these constitutions are not written for the benefit of the citizens. They are written to benefit foreign powers. If democracy is not what Mali people want, don't give them democracy. Give them what they want. Let the people choose. And lastly, if it's possible to conduct a referendum, always trying to find out what people want. Do they want to belong to this country? Give them that choice. If people freely decide to belong to a country, they will do everything conceivably to make that place work. But if they feel they're forced against their will, it's always everyone for themselves, starting from the politicians down to the common man on the street. This is my opinion, and I always like to hear from you, always like to engage you. So I urge you to like and to subscribe, and let's dialogue. Hopefully, Mali will turn around. Hopefully, other African nations will listen, and hopefully, this may be the end, the last of military coup in Africa. Thank you.